name is Tor, and today we're going to be reacting to a mom says son claims he's a cyborg, uses robotic movements and speech. So this is some crazy kid, so let's just get right into this.
Who is it?
It's your mom.
Enter.
Hey, Oren. Can I turn on the light?
Ooh, nice lifestyle.
It's a little dark in here and I can't
Dark in
see.
here.
Huh?
We prefer dark in here.
My son, Oren, thinks he's a cyborg from the year 2050.
Mother,
Just come down.
you are
Just come
disturbing
down.
our operations.
Listen,
We are
listen.
receiving
Just come
programming.
down.
We are watching video. We are learning
Learning what?
about the future.
Oren has robotic movements and robotic speech. It's a glitch.
Wait, he just said we're learning about the future, but he's from the future. He's from 2050. So he's just come to 2019, 2020, and says he's learning about the future. This doesn't make sense. He's clearly on some drugs or something.
Like he's a computer.
Your intensity will be matched as we try to save you and everyone that we know.
He talks in a
What's about all this we? We.
collective, everything is we. He hasn't said I in over a year.
We are alone in this. No one else was chosen to do what we are doing.
We need to, save the planet from sudden doom. Cyborgs are part machine, part man, but I gave birth to Oren and he is flesh and blood. I also made lasagna downstairs and I wanted to know if you could, join us.
We are not hungry. Thank you.
Oren,
What? He said no to his mom's lasagna. What? Whoa. I don't have any words to describe how disappointed I am. He cancelled his lasagna. Oh my god.
on the plane was astro traveling. Every time I turned around to check on him to make sure he was okay, he was zoned out. Astro traveling is where he travels to another dimension where he gets instructions from the higher beings. To me, it looks like he's sleeping.
There is an apocalypse in the future. We have seen it in our dreams and in our visions.
2 years ago, he graduated from NYU Business School with a 3.9.
Wait, so he graduated high school, but still just is like a cyborg or something, robot, and he graduated high school. Whoa, I don't understand this, Jesus.
GPA. This isn't the young man that I saw walk across the stage when he graduated. He's changed. He wanted to come back home, and I told him, of course, with the understanding that he would get a job. From that point on, it just spiraled.
We are still in that process of gaining full employment.
That was a year ago, honey. That was a year ago.
Things do not happen overnight.
He was not looking for work. Oren is on his computer all day, and he very
Maybe from the year 2050, why doesn't he have like this future tech, and why doesn't he just have a normal iPad and a normal PC and normal monitors and normal everything that he says is from the year 2050, but he doesn't have any tech that probably is available then.
very rarely comes down from his room.
Welcome to our headquarters.
I know that he's not a cyborg, but he believes he is here to save.
Wait, he's not the psycho. Okay. I mean, if she says he's not the psycho, I just think it's bad parenting. If she wants him to get a job and be normal, why doesn't she just be more strict and don't let him be on his computer all day, so maybe it doesn't be this computer robot cyborg thing.
The planet.
You say this has been going on for about 2 years.
Yes.
But when he's just around the house, just hanging around, is he always in cyborg mode?
He's always in cyborg mode.
So he never just comes in and says, hey, Mom.
No.
In looking back, are there things that you recognize now with the benefit of hindsight where you saw atypical thinking or unusual behaviors or identifications when he was growing up?
I never saw anything.
Did you ever notice that in times of stress or conflict that he would seem to withdraw or disassociate in some way?
He started that once he came back home after college. There were certain expectations when he came home that I wanted him to be a part of, helping me around the house and taking out the garbage and helping me, clean up and helping with groceries. And he would just usually tell me that he's working, he's busy, and that he is on his computer, and sometimes would ask me to leave his room.
But he would.
Wait, so she doesn't check what he's doing on his computer. She just thought for like a year that he was just working. Bad parenting.
Isolate.
Yes, he would be in his room from early in the morning to 4 o'clock the next morning. He would be in his room working on, whatever it is that he does on his computer.
So you don't think he has a mental illness?
No, not at all.
He clearly has a mental illness if he's trying to be a cyborg all day and he wakes up at 6 a.m. and goes to bed 4 a.m. the next morning. He's clearly mentally ill. Listen to Dr. Phil. He is very big brain.
So if it's not a mental illness, what would motivate this kind of atypical behavior?
Well, one of the things that he knew that I wanted him to do was find a job, and he hasn't done that. And so, if he can claim that he's a cyborg and so forth and not have to enter into, having a real job like the rest of, the kids out there who graduate from college.
Well, that was this video, but there's actually another video that I still saw. So we'll go over here. Yes.
My brother thinking he's a cyborg.
So now it's his sister telling us the story. So let's just go right ahead and just watch it.
Creates tension in the house.
I'm making something. Would you like something to
No.
eat? Okay.
We have water.
My mom and my brother are like constantly arguing because all he does is spend
Just water. I thought it was a cyborg. Do cyborg normally drink water? No. He's just a human trying to be a cyborg. This is fake.
time in his room. When Orn first told me he was a cyborg, I thought he was joking. I think that something is wrong with him. I feel like Orn has a
See, his sister knows it. His sister knows he's mentally ill. But her mother just doesn't see it.
valid message, but the way he goes about it is kind of off. I think something maybe happened in college that could have triggered the reason why he believes he's a cyborg. He was always pretty quirky, but I feel
See, his sister. See, we should listen to her, not the mother. She has actually given reason why he might be like mentally ill or just, yeah, why he's acting like a cyborg. So yeah, let's listen to her.
like it's been taken to the extreme with the robotic stuff. He used to be fun and energetic because we would always go out to the beach, and now there's no time for that, I guess. Orn has told me that he went to the future in 2050 and he's seen everything. Orn said he has seen the end of the world and that technology has taken over. I usually walk away when he says stuff like that because it usually upsets me and frustrates me sometimes. I'm surprised my mom has been this patient.
Why don't you get a couple of these water bottles and a
Yeah, see, she is surprised with her mother parenting. Clearly, his sister would be more fit to be his mother because, or guardian, because she clearly knows what is best for him and not her mother's. She's just letting him do
A bag, take him outside for the recycling.
Tomorrow.
Why don't you do that now?
We're busy.
You're not busy. If you want to save the world, you should recycle.
I feel like I expected him to get a job.
Never mind. His mom is a environmental, like, she likes the environment. I mean, I like that. So, a point for the mother.
Since he went to a good college. No one has really expected him to want to become a rapper, much less a cyborg. I feel like my brother might be at his tipping point because I've never seen it get this bad. He doesn't eat, he doesn't interact with anyone anymore, and it's starting to worry me. I feel disconnected from Oren. I want to be closer like how we were before. I miss my brother Oren, and I want him back.
You say you miss your brother. What do you miss?
We would laugh a lot. We would hang out with my other sister, and I just feel like it's been such a long time since I've had that, and like I don't really feel cherished. You know, to be like to have a
He
sister.
doesn't cherish his family.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for her. She, yeah, I feel very bad for her.
Like, we're not important to him.
Just for his family.
Do you miss your sister? Do you miss spending time with her?
We live in the same house.
Now answer my question.
What the hell?
We were all flown out to Los Angeles together. We went to the Santa Monica Pier yesterday. That can be rekindled.
But that was the first time in months where we've actually spent time together.
Usually
Did
don't
you enjoy
come
the
out.
time you spent with her?
It was pleasant, yes.
Do you think that your mother enables him?
She is a really nice person, and so I feel like she's really patient. But I wouldn't call her an enabler because I've seen her like try to kick him out, and like I feel like it's also my responsibility that he's still not doing what he needs to do because I made her feel like for like wanting to kick him out. So I feel like we're all guilty. Like
But she tells him to get a job, but she doesn't enforce it.
Wait, so she tells him to get a job, but doesn't enforce it. She just definitely enforces it. Threatens to kick out, doesn't follow her. Pays for everything, rent, food, clothes, etc. So she should not pay for everything. She should let it. If he's working all the time, he should get paid. So he should be able to pay for something like food to clothes or something. What? And she allowed him to stop doing chores. Won't make him see a therapist because he refuses to go. Jeez, that's just so bad parenting. Support him because never been close difficulties in relationship. Whoa, I don't know what to say. Jesus, bad parenting.
She pays for everything, rent, food. I mean, you pick up all the bills, right?
Yes.
You support him because you've never been close and there's been difficulties in the relationship.
Yes.
So you're kind of parenting out of guilt and fear.
That is true.
Why were you strained in the past?
I was married to his father, and then that relationship ended, and I remarried with Samantha's dad, and Oren had a very difficult time with that transition. He went to live with his grandparents for.
Oh, so his parents split up. I mean, that's very hard. I mean, if my parents split up, I'm not sure if I would be able to handle that. So, yeah, I think
For a while. And it was difficult on me because I wanted him home, but he just couldn't deal with the new family and new husband and so forth. So when he said that, he needed to come back home to regroup and to get himself together, I welcomed him with open arms.
It's very reasonable.
so. That was that video. So I just want, if you made it to the end, I just want to thank you for being here and watching this video. And since this is the first video, I just want to thank you even more. I've never done this before, so I'm just trying out. So yeah. I will be uploading more videos in the future, and yeah, so that was that. So make sure to like, subscribe, and comment what video you want me to react to next. It could be anything, not just Dr.Phil, just anything. And make sure to comment if you want me to make more Dr.Phil videos. So thank you and goodbye.